Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Anudeep Durishetty, Shruti Sharma, and 𝐂𝐨𝐫 𝐞𝐨.
Hello everyone, welcome to ForumIAS short series on public administration. So in this series we are trying to take important concept from viewpoint of conceptual clarity so that we have better idea on understanding various interlinking of this discipline, right? And obviously we are going to see some glimpses of those topics because due to paucity of time, because in 8 to 9 minutes we don't have much room for detailed information, right? Topic is very simple. You may be aware of that. The topic which I am taking is background of Woodrow Wilson. Background of Woodrow Wilson. So in social science, it is said that it's a very famous saying, you may be aware of that. If you want to understand any thinker, for example, if you want to understand Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, Frederick Wilson Taylor, Robert M. Follett, Mary Parker Follett, or any other thinker in any discipline, before understanding his ideas, what you need to understand is the background of that particular thinker. Because once the picture is clear, on the background, 30 or 40% theory, there wahi pe you will understand. Okay? In public administration, in our syllabus, we often see in every book, lots of information is given. Okay, that Woodrow Wilson wrote this, impact is that. But what about background? Background is often one missing link when we talk about Woodrow Wilson. So his background was Scotch-Irish, right? His background was British. His mother was British. Woodrow Wilson's mother was British. He was very much influenced by religion. And obviously when we say influenced by religion, when we say this, it simply means Christianity. How he was influenced by religion? Because his father was founder of Presbyterian Church in USA. His father was a very important figure, although in local community only, but he was a very important figure when it comes to church in local community in USA. Number 3, during college days, his focus was basically on 2 things. Number 1, Woodrow Wilson was very much interested in studying British history. And number 2 is European literature. Right? So during college, his main focus was on number one, British history, and number two is what? European literature. Right? Number four, a very interesting dimension which a student of public administration must be familiar with this. See the timeline of Woodrow Wilson. When Woodrow Wilson died, any idea? He died around 1924, something like that. Right? He got heart attack, kind of, it is said, but he was very unwell. His timeline from 1800 to 1920, the time in which Woodrow Wilson lived, it witnessed a significant upheavals in USA. Because during this time, civil war happened in USA, number one. Number two, lots of economic depression. This was the era of economic depression in USA, which ultimately it also saw large-scale poverty. And Woodrow Wilson was like other people in USA, he also suffered from this. Not only suffered, his father was one of the important person who hold important position in Civil War. His father was with south part of the USA, because if you'll go into Civil War, the history, the southern part of USA, they started revolting against the northern part. Northern part didn't supported slavery, but since economy of southern part of USA was very much dependent on slavery, so Civil War started, and ultimately northern part, the government of USA was victorious. It was just a passing remark I am telling you. Now, if you will observe these things, since Woodrow Wilson belonged from middle class, right? He ultimately became one of the progressivist thinker. You remember this term, progressive era? In another video, I have explained in a very in a detailed way, I think 9 to 10 minutes video, the progressive era thinkers. So Woodrow Wilson belonged from a middle class family. Now, if you will observe the writings of Woodrow Wilson, you will find that he compares American administration with British administration, European administration. He talks about the constitutional developments in USA as compared to Europe. He talks about the evolution of state in various phases. Why? Because if you'll see how he was influenced very much by this, and number two, by these phenomena in his life. These things, if you are knowing, after this, when you will cover the ideas of Woodrow Wilson in public administration, naturally, you are going to have a very well developed understanding on this thinker who is kind of a pillar of discipline of public administration. Right? Very briefly I have given you, but in our class we cover each event in a very detailed way. Right? Thank you for watching this lecture.